Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? So we'll start with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's just done something today that I've just been aware of when looking at the chart right now, which is making me not go bullish, but making me think again now about this whole bearish scenario. Now overall I still am bearish for a few reasons, but now I'm beginning to think that actually the tables might be turning and we could be going bullish. The reason for that is that after this bounce here, we broke out of the descending trend that we've been waiting to break out of since this entire last 6 months. So we do have a death cross here, which is definitely bearish. I don't believe that that death cross hasn't really done your normal death cross style move. But what we have seen now is we've seen a continuation above the descending trend. We have had heavy rejections and we've got some big wicks, rejection wicks here. We've also had a nice big support wick here. So it's showing that we're actually pretty indecisive at the moment. In fact, just out of curiosity, let's have a look at the weekly candle. It's kind of sitting in the middle. We've got slightly bit more of a rejection than a support wick, but it's kind of in the middle. But the thing that I'm more surprised at is this big giant tick here of the Ichimoku clouds. We've got a cross here now from the conversion line over the baseline, movement to the up. And that is generally that would be a signal of a continuation move, that being a continuation of the move up on this occasion. So it doesn't mean that we can't come down a little bit further, but generally speaking, this is a decent indicator of a general, I suppose you could say, a change in trend, and the trend at this point being that of the up. So it could suggest now that, you know, from the price action that we're at within this territory here, as low as, I'd say as low as 7,050 to pretty much where we are right now, we could actually begin to go bullish. So it might be that the bottom is actually in. The bottom was in this last time we hit this level, and we might not be coming down into the 6,000s again. Now, you know, even though we have had this tick, there can be some volatility within that movement, because I'll show you what happened on this occasion. We have had this tick just recently, well, not that recently, but not too long ago. We had this move here. So basically we had the conversion line over the baseline over here, and that was a tick to the up, nice steep steady tick, but then it came straight back down again, and it really did crash in on itself. So it's not the most useful. It's not great. I mean, it's usually much better when you look at it on the weekly, and the weekly still has that tick to the down. So weekly is definitely much more bearish. However, you know, it is an indicator. We take it for what it's worth. But the daily sometimes holds relevance to it, definitely. But for the moment, you know, I'm going to see it for what it is, which is one more indicator that gives a nod to the bulls. So we've got a higher high here. We've got a higher low here. Even though we're wicking around when we come to rejection points, it does look like it could, if it wants to, make a push. It doesn't look like it's got the momentum to push downwards into this area again, to be honest. It doesn't look like it wants to do that. It doesn't look that weak. It looks indecisive. You know, it doesn't look specifically weak, and it doesn't look specifically strong. It's kind of all over the place, to be honest. But we've got this tick here would suggest a continuation of the move up. But let's not go crazy, because we did have that here, and we didn't have much of a move at all. In fact, we had a giant big red candle not too long afterwards. So we'll leave that for what it is, what it's worth. So where we are going right now, I'd say the top of this Bollinger Band would be the be all and end all. Very likely to be rejected from there. However, if we broke through there, we'd be up to the top, this level here. Excuse me, I've got hiccups. 8,135. That would be the highest I'd expect this to go without a giant rejection point. But if we did get up that level, I would expect at some point a continuation. So it does look like it could go bullish now, and we might have had our bottom in. But, you know, again, I'm not going to be trading this one for the moment. It's a little bit too in the middle for me. It's a bit of a 50-50, so I'm not really looking to trade that right now. Same again with Matic. When we look at Matic, we're hovering around this level. We've not completely dumped out yet, but I'm pretty sure we will in the event that Bitcoin dumps out. Now, if Bitcoin decides to climb up again, I think Matic would probably do the same, but it's not strong anymore. That's one thing. It's definitely not strong anymore. It's not doing big power moves. This was a bounce, and we've managed to hover around this level here. So even from the bounce, we've managed to recover from our lows, but we need to get above the 200 exponential, which is again, and it's leveled out at this point now. So that's 1.67 cent. If we can get above there, then there's a chance that we could have continuation, but by being below there, we will inevitably drip down further. And what I would expect is if Bitcoin does go bullish, it will drain the sats out of Matic and probably end up bringing the price down over time, because the sats will be going lower and lower. And I haven't got the Satoshi values up actually. Let me just get that now. Let's have a look at Matic on the sats, because I would expect that it's suffering harder than the Tether, and if that's the case, then we might be looking for some death cross action some point soon. Actually, there's a nice gap between here, so this doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. But what will happen if Bitcoin takes off? Matic's not likely to sustain the same amount of growth that Bitcoin does if Bitcoin goes bullish, because the Bitcoin dominance is currently quite high. And that would mean that the sats will be drained. So we would actually probably looking at getting a death cross on the sats, which will then in turn create a death cross on the tether value. And not, like I say, these are all theory at the moment. At the moment, everything's boring and sideways. It's very difficult to really talk about it, because it's just very, very stale and boring at the moment, waiting for anything to happen. So we look at Ethereum, just to try and get a heads up of what's going on with the alt market. If Ethereum decides it wants to pick up, then I would expect to see the altcoin market pick up. That would be Matic and everybody else. But we're having sort of big rejections and big supports, and again, it's like Bitcoin on speed. Ethereum doesn't know which way it wants to go. It's following Bitcoin. It's not got a mind of its own, which suggests to me that it's probably pretty weak. It looks like this itchy cloud baseline conversion line wants to make a cross. Might make a cross in a couple of days, but at the same token, this does not look bullish. Bitcoin looks like it could be okay, but when you look at Ethereum, it's trying to represent a Bitcoin chart. It's not doing a very good job. It's looking like a very weak version of the Bitcoin chart. So it's an interesting time at the moment. It's a time for me to sit back and wait. This could go either way, and when something's like that, I don't want to trade it. I want to see which direction it's going to go, and then decide when I'm going to make my move. Personally, I'm not quite as bearish as I was the other day, but if I had to choose, I'd probably say that it's likely to come down here over time, after a few pumps and attempts to get up to these levels into this cloud. But overall, I think I probably would say I'm bearish, but again, it's almost 50-50. I'd say it's 55-45 in case of the bears. At this moment in time, that's as of today. Tomorrow this could all change, but yeah, it's looking a little stronger than I thought it might, but it's not looking strong at all, if that makes sense to you. So again, it's a really boring video and a really boring market. You just have to weigh the whole thing up. So again, across the board, I'm probably bearish, but there is more signals now to suggest bullish continuation of this move than there was yesterday, and I thought I'd just bring that to your attention. Anyway, I'll leave it there. I hope you have a nice day, a nice evening. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.